Certainly don't have spring allergies. Something's going on.
Live on YouTube. Ready when you are.
Okay. All right, I have 10 o'clock. Call the Isabella County Board of Commissioners Finance Administration Committee meeting, hybrid meeting to order. Approval of the agenda. Any commissioners have anything they wish to add to the agenda? Going once, going twice. Okay, now I'll call to the public. I don't believe anybody was here last time. We have no one in the public audience. Jessica, do we have anybody in virtual?
There's no public at this time.
You may have heard me mention the name Jessica Drosowitz. She is filling in for Nicole Frost today, our County Administrator Controller, who may or may not be on this hybrid meeting.
She is just joining us now.
She is just joining in. So Nicole, great timing there. Jessica is going to be at this table running it. Nicole can comment, but she can't. I don't think she can even participate in a discussion because of the. Maybe she can because
I think she can.
She
but she's
can.
not
Yes,
a
yes.
board member.
So we're going to let her in anyway. If anybody complains,
Yeah.
if I get a call from Governor Whitmer, I'm going to say, "I'm sorry, Governor. I apologize, and it won't happen again." Okay. Next up, consider accepting and placing on file the 2022 State Tax Commission. We have Mr. Preston anywhere.
I do not see him on Zoom.
Okay, we will just plug on. Nicole, do you have anything you'd like to say on this?
She might need a minute because it was saying joining for a little bit. But I see her on now.
Jerry, you want to have anything to say on this?
Well, I know discussion usually follows the motion, so I will move that we place this on the work agenda.
All right, we're getting good. We're keeping according to the timeline. I will support that. Now we'll have any discussion. Nicole, are you there?
Good morning, Commissioner. I'm just hopping on. Had a little trouble joining this morning.
That's fine.
Good
We just-
morning.
We
It looks like is
You're buying lunch, all of us here sometime. No, I'm kidding. We're on item number 4. We had nothing to, we did not add anything to the agenda. We didn't have anything to call to the public, and now we are on item number 4. Do you have anything to add? Mr. Preston is not with us today, apparently, so do you have anything you'd like to add to this on number 4 on the State Tax Commission Form L-4046? We've had a motion and support. Now we're in discussion phase on that.
got you. Well, it's unfortunate that Mr. Preston's not here this morning. Certainly he will be in attendance on Tuesday to further explain. I do think that this is just merely a formality, that the taxable values that were presented, I don't think we're finalized. I think this finalizes everything. And then of course, the next item on your agenda sets the ever important millage rate, which I know we would also like to discuss with Mr. Preston.
Yep.
And the
Okay,
possibility of that ever changing.
very good. I don't have anything further to add. Commissioners, anything you'd like to add to this?
I don't.
I think we've seen this pretty regular, pretty consistent. So, okay, hearing and seeing nothing for further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. It will move forward to our work session. Next up, the State Tax Commission Form L-4029, pretty much the same thing. Commissioner Jelzinski, you want to make a motion on this? We'll put it to discussion then.
Sure, I'll move that we consider approving these, moving forward, the consideration of approving the State Tax Commission Form L-4029-2022 tax rate request form.
And I'll support that. Any further discussion? Nicole, I just wanted to say on this, I know you just mentioned, and since I do see in here 6.61 mils, the term mills. Where are we at in far as discussion, and where should we start holding or even have any discussion in regards to a possible millage for this August for the possible what's the word, public safety public
Millage.
safety issue. Nicole, that was directed at you.
My apologies, Commissioner. I was just reaching out to Pete Preston, who will be hopping on the Zoom here to help us out. Can you
Okay.
repeat the question, please?
My question was, since we were talking about a mill, since this obviously sets the millage and everything, where are we at as far as going with our August possible public safety millage talks? Are we thinking about still going down that line? I know I personally would like to have some discussion on it, because I know we are on a timeline. Where are we sitting with that?
I do think that it's possible. I do think it's ambitious, but I do also think that's the direction that the boards kind of sent us in from their special meeting. I think that getting the prosecuting attorney on board with a millage such as that is critical, alongside Sheriff Maine, alongside Director Mark Griffiths, alongside Clerk Lux, and I do believe that you have all of their support in that. So I would look to just start meeting as soon as possible to get those folks together to make sure that we're heading in the right direction.
Would I be out of line? And I got the board chair right across from me stating, let's shoot for June 14th Finance Administration Committee, maybe to have a gathering of those people or some sort, so we can start opening up this dialogue, so we can shoot for getting this in front of the board, possibly by the second board meeting in June. Or go back in front of the second committee meeting in June, which 50-50 if I'm on that one, but I know we don't have our first board meeting in July. That's canceled, so we only have one meeting in July, so we probably need to get this rocking a little bit if we're gonna do this.
Absolutely. I like the aggressive schedule. Is there anyone else that you would like to see at the table besides those that I mentioned?
Yeah, I definitely, well, if prosecutor, the clerk, I mean, anybody can be in the audience. So I don't want to have I want to have it a narrowed agenda, narrow focus. And then this committee can have a discussion. And if we think it's warranted, we can then bring it maybe to the full board if that's meets with the chairman's approval. I think I think you have to get aggressive. You're on a crunch timeline. So I can't remember what our deadline is to get it on the August ballot.
I think Mindy had mentioned it was gonna be a November ballot
Oh,
issue.
November, okay.
We had to have the language by August.
Okay,
By August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know,
But still, that's coming up.
Yeah. And like I said, we lose one meeting in July. And I know some of the other committee members, well, not committee members, board members may or may not be involved in campaigning and things like that too. So I want to keep this focused and get it out there in the public realm too, so the public is aware, but we're just not hitting them with the last minute thing. So
Yeah, I think at the special meeting, we kind of all informally
Mhm.
maybe agreed that, yeah, this is something we should pursue. We need to make it a more formal decision on it, start moving it forward or not. If whatever way we go with it,
yeah,
we
let's,
need to formally declare what we're gonna do here pretty quickly.
yeah, Nicole, let's try to get that, if it meets with chairman's approval, let's try to get this on the 14th. Have something set up. And Mr. Preston, are you there?
Yes, trying to work my Zoom here. Hold on a second. There we go.
Or just
Hi
turn,
there.
probably could have seen, I was staring into the box here. So hoping that some magical genie would appear in front of me or something like that. So
I look at this box every day and want that to happen.
yeah, apparently they have Whitney Houston singing out in Las Vegas now. So maybe all things are possible. So there you go. So yeah, we also touched on we've already passed to bring it forward to the work session about the place in a file, the form L4046. I don't really think you need to touch on that unless you want to give a quick update or what that is, but everyone in this table kind of knows exactly what that is. But we're now on the form L4029. So if you want to, it's pretty standard. We've all seen it before as commissioners, but if you want to just highlight or touch upon it or tell us what we're looking at there, even though we
Well,
do?
so essentially with the 4029, you're levying your millage for the summer collection. In that regard, it's also been affected by any potential rollback. And so at this time, I do not believe there was a rollback. I'm asking Judy real quick to provide me the document there. For some reason, I don't have it on my email. And I don't know if you have it before you right now, the actual 4029 form, or just the staff report.
Just a staff report.
Okay, so she's probably still working on that. If there's any rollback at all, it's going to be slight, given the new construction that came on with the wind turbines. When that information was put together for you to give you an idea of what the repercussions of this year's March Board of Review were going to be, that at that time, there was no rollback. So you would still be levying the full 6.61.
Commissioners, any questions? I see Pete. Your office, you're in there, Pete?
This is not my office. This is a township office that I visit on Tuesdays.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, man, that's pretty impressive. You got boxes of stuff there. You're working hard today. Holy smoke.
Well, back a few years ago when I took this local unit over, there was a township supervisor that had done the assessing for 20+ years. So he essentially cleaned out his basement and occupied this office. So for a while there, I had to scooch in.
There you go. There you go. Okay. I have nothing further. We hearing and seeing nothing, Bert. I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Okay, that'll go forward to our work session. Pete, we'll have you attend the work session. Is that correct?
Yes,
Very good. We'll get those forms ahead of time for the commissioners, right?
yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, that brings us down to item number 6, invoice list discussions. Commissioners, anything on the invoice list?
Just another Michigan Tax Tribunal refund, and I think we're seeing more and more of those.
Yeah, given when we saw our tax distributions, that was one of the ones I believe that was our largest taxpayer. As far as
You're right.
as far as that goes. So probably, I know they do some, not the big box theory, but I think they do by occupancy or so. I don't know how they do the tax, how they hit them and then get the refunds back. That's kind of I got enough knowledge here to be dangerous, and that should scare everybody. Commissioner Jelezinski, do you have anything?
The only thing I looked at is, I hadn't seen this before, but this is probably in line with the new legislative action. The Kenneth and Brenda Hood, the 56,174 must have been the value of the sale of property over and above what the county was allowed to keep.
Yeah, I've got a case, it's not my case. That was one of my clients is involved in an issue. And I've seen that too. It wasn't nowhere near this amount. But yeah, what they do is if they sold it in 2021, then they have to, if it was foreclosed or whatever, then they have to the form that they fill out. And there's a statutory requirement. I think it's by May 15th, the person seeking the money. And then the treasurer has a certain time period to get some information back to them. And then in January, they have to do another application to the court to get a date or a hearing set. And this is probably what it was. You're right. You're starting to see that. So that's obviously going to affect the county's funds a little bit too on that. But there's understandable pros and cons, and that's the Raffelli case kicked back to us. So I believe that's probably what it is. I think you're right. I think that's probably what that is. So stuff back from the Raffelli decision. So I got nothing further. Okay, that will go forward then, or our discussion that's been had. Announcements, commissioners, any announcements?
I was contacted by a couple of individuals about the possible bonding for the jail, and I didn't find any opposition. They didn't take any support, but they gave them the explanation of why the board was looking at moving forward in that direction. And I think one person voiced they'd like to see the jail stay in Mount Pleasant because of its support for downtown, but they understood the factors that we're having to deal with. And the other one was a treasurer for Cove Township, who I think called me and said, I respect your opinion, tell me about it. And she didn't, like I said, she didn't voice any opposition, so I think getting the message out sooner the better might help the whole thing.
It's certainly a community issue. I mean, obviously the county is chartered or chartered, whatever term you want to use, with having a county jail and being responsible for it. And part of that responsibility is habitability, things like that. And it's, as we found out, it doesn't come cheaply. And two, costs are ever increasing. When we sat down 4 years ago, has it been, maybe more, to decide to do this project, COVID was not on anybody's radar. If it was, that's, you always anticipate an increase in cost, but that should be the way it's always been. Costs are always going to increase. But nothing like with the tuna that we're seeing today. I mean, it's not only affecting our builds, but it's affecting builds all over. And then couple that with, what's going to be going on in the near future if we do ever hit a return recession. It's going to get worse, not better. So.
Just want to say it was not a Cole Township treasurer, it was another member of the board.
Okay, I got nothing further to add to any announcements or anything. Call to the public, nothing. Call to the public, nothing. Okay, at 10:16, Chairman Engler is not here, so he can't hold up our meeting anymore. I am going to adjourn it. Thank you. I'm just thinking like that, Chairman Engler.